The security checkpoint at Terminus Station hummed with its usual afternoon chaos. Vornak pressed his 6 fingers against the scanner, watching the queue of new recruits shuffle through processing. 23 years he had worked this post. 23 years of watching fresh-faced cadets arrive, cocky and stupid, thinking they understood war. He had seen thousands of them. None had ever made him feel what he felt when she walked through the scanner. The human woman moved with an economy of motion that set off every predator instinct in Vornak's Krillian biology. Not the swagger of a soldier trying to prove something. Not the nervous energy of someone out of their depth. Just efficiency. Like every step had been calculated 3 moves ahead. She was small by human standards, maybe 5 feet and 7 inches, with dark hair pulled back in a style that screamed, "I don't have time for your nonsense." Her eyes, a peculiar shade of amber, swept the room once. Just once. Vornak realized with a start that she had catalogued every exit, every potential threat, every weapon within reach, all in under 2 seconds. Her file said, Lieutenant Maya Kaur, age 31, recent transfer from the Outer Rim Security Forces, standard credentials, unremarkable service record, no commendations of note. Vornak had been doing this job long enough to know a sanitized file when he saw one. "Next!" he called, keeping his voice level. Maya stepped forward. Up close, he noticed the scar tissue on her hands. Old burns, the kind you got from plasma weapons operating at temperatures that would have killed most species. She placed her palm on the scanner without being told. Lieutenant Kaur, Vornak read from his display, though he had memorized every word. "Welcome to Terminus Station. You have been assigned to Delta Company, 3rd Battalion. Report to Commander Vex for orientation at 0600 tomorrow." Acknowledged. Her voice was neutral, professional, but there was something underneath it, something cold. "First time at Terminus?" Vornak asked, deviating from his usual script. He needed to know. "First time at this Terminus," Maya replied. The distinction made Vornak's blood run cold. He waved her through, watched her collect her gear with practiced motions, watched her disappear into the crowd of new arrivals, already forgotten by everyone except him. Vornak pulled up his personal comm and typed a message to an old friend in intelligence. "We have a problem." Commander Vex was having a spectacular day, right up until he saw the morning briefing. "Another human?" He slammed his foreclaw on the desk, making his assistant, a nervous Quellan named Pip, jump half a meter. "They sent us another human?" "Yes, sir," Pip's voice squeaked. "Lieutenant Maya Kaur, transferred from—" "I can read." Vex scanned the file again, his triple eyelids blinking in rapid succession, a sign of severe agitation among his species. "Do they think we are running a charity here? Delta. Company needs soldiers, not desk jockeys from backwater security posts." The humans. Always the humans. Ever since they had joined the Galactic Defense Coalition 5 years ago, they had been a thorn in Vex's side. Too emotional, too impulsive, too fragile for real combat. He had gone through 17 human soldiers in his 3-year tenure as Delta Company commander. 12 had quit. 3 had been reassigned after psychological breaks. 2 had died in training accidents. Vex did not want another name added to that list. "Have her report for standard evaluation," he told Pip, "and prepare the discharge papers. We will send her somewhere she cannot get herself killed." Maya arrived at the training dome at 0530, 30 minutes before her scheduled orientation. Old habits. The dome was massive, a perfect sphere of reinforced titanium alloy designed to simulate every combat environment the Coalition forces might encounter. Right now, It was set to urban ruins, complete with shattered buildings and debris fields that looked disturbingly real. She was not alone. A group of soldiers, maybe 20 of them, were running drills at the far end. Maya recognized the mixed species composition typical of coalition units. 3 Krillians, their scaled bodies moving with surprising grace. 5 Quellans, small and quick. A pair of Gorvaxians, massive and slow but nearly indestructible. And humans. 7 of them, all looking like they had just graduated from basic. They were practicing breach and clear tactics. Badly. Maya watched a human corporal charge through a doorway without checking corners. Predictably, he got shot by the training AI, his suit lighting up red as simulated plasma rounds hit center mass. "Dead," the AI announced cheerfully. "Time to fatality, 4.2 seconds. New personal worst, Corporal Hendricks." The other soldiers laughed. Hendricks looked embarrassed. Maya felt her jaw tighten. Sloppy. Dangerous. The kind of mistake that got entire squads killed. She was about to turn away when someone cleared their throat behind her. "You are the new transfer." Maya turned. A Krillian officer stood there, scales gleaming under the dome's artificial sun. His uniform marked him as a company commander. Vex, she assumed. "Lieutenant Maya Kor, reporting as ordered, sir." She gave a crisp salute. Vex did not return it. "You are early." "Yes, sir." "Eager to prove yourself?" "No, sir. Just punctual." Something that might have been amusement flashed across Vex's reptilian features. "Most humans I have commanded were eager to prove themselves, usually right before they did something catastrophically stupid." Maya said nothing. She had learned long ago that silence made people uncomfortable. Uncomfortable people talked. Talking people revealed things. Vex studied her for a long moment. "You have combat experience?" "Some, sir." "Define some." "Enough to know the difference between training and dying." This time Vex definitely looked amused. "The file says you worked outer rim security. Quiet posts? Boring work?" "If you say so, sir." "I do say so." Vex gestured toward the training group. "Delta Company is not a quiet post. We deploy to active combat zones. We engage enemy forces that would consider you a light snack. Your file suggests you are adequate. But adequate gets people killed here." Maya met his gaze without blinking. "Then I suppose we will find out if the file is accurate, sir." "Indeed." Vex pulled out a data pad. "Standard evaluation, combat simulation. You will join Hendrix's squad for a breach and clear scenario. Difficulty level 7. If you perform acceptably, we will discuss your assignment. If not, I have discharge papers ready to sign." "Understood, sir." "Report to Sergeant Kroll for equipment." Vex turned to leave, then paused. "One more thing, Lieutenant. Humans have the unfortunate tendency to try to be heroes. Do not be a hero. Heroes die, often messily." "Not planning on dying, sir." "Nobody ever is." Sergeant Kroll was a Gorvaxian, which meant he was approximately the size of a small transport vehicle and had a personality to match. He handed Maya her training gear with all the enthusiasm of someone processing garbage. Helmet, chest plate, weapon, ammo. Each item hit the equipment table with a thud. "You know how to use a plasma rifle, human?" "I can manage," Maya said, checking the rifle's charge pack. "Standard coalition issue. Decent stopping power, prone to overheating if you were not careful." She had used better. She had used worse. "Uh-huh." Kroll did not sound convinced. "You will be with Hendrix's squad. Follow orders. Stay behind cover. Try not to die in the first 30 seconds. Command gets annoyed when they have to file paperwork for dead newbies." "I will do my best." Kroll snorted, a sound like a landslide. and lumbered away. Maya suited up quickly. The armor was decent, though it did not fit quite right. Coalition gear was designed for average body types across multiple species, which meant it was perfect for nobody. She adjusted the straps, test-fired the rifle at the practice range, then made her way to the staging area where Hendrix's squad was gathering. Corporal Tom Hendrix looked like he belonged in a recruiting poster. Square jaw, military haircut, the kind of confidence that came from never having been shot at by someone who actually wanted to kill you. He sized Maya up with barely concealed skepticism. "You are the new lieutenant?" he asked. "Guilty. No offense, but we were hoping for someone with, experience." Maya smiled. It was not a nice smile. "None taken. What is the scenario?" A Quellan specialist named Rico spoke up, her voice high and rapid. "Hostile takeover of a civilian structure. Unknown number of combatants. Standard breach and clear. We have done this scenario maybe 6 times. Never gotten past difficulty level 5. "Why?" Hendrix shrugged. "AI is too aggressive, throws too many targets, at us too fast. Command likes to remind us that real combat is unfair." "Real combat is extremely unfair," Maya agreed. "How are you approaching it?" "Hard breach, fast entry, overwhelming firepower." Hendrix said it like he was reciting from a manual, which he probably was. Maya raised an eyebrow. "And that has worked how many times?" "0 times," admitted a human private named Ellis, earning a glare from Hendrix. "But the manual says—" "The manual is written by people who want to teach principles, not keep you alive," Maya interrupted. "Hard breach works when you have numerical superiority, and you know the enemy position. You have neither. So why are you still using the same tactic?" Silence. "What would you do?" Rico asked, genuine curiosity in her oversized eyes. Maya considered. She could play it safe. Follow their plan. Fail respectably. Get reassigned to some quiet corner where nobody would ask questions. Or she could do what she always did. "Give me 90 seconds before you breach," she said. "I will create a distraction. When you hear the explosion, go through the secondary entrance on the east side. They will be looking west. You will have maybe 4 seconds of confusion. Use it." Hendrix frowned. "The scenario does not have a secondary entrance." "Yes, it does. The designers added it in the last update. They wanted to see if anyone would notice." Maya checked her rifle again. "Most people do not. How do you—" 90 seconds. East entrance. Don't be late." She walked toward the scenario zone before anyone could argue. Commander Vex watched the simulation feed from his observation post, Pip nervously hovering beside him. "She is going to get herself killed in the first 10 seconds, Vex predicted. "And then I will have to file an incident report explaining why I let an obviously unqualified officer participate in a level 7 scenario." "Perhaps she will surprise you, sir," Pip suggested hopefully. "Humans always surprise me, usually by being even more foolish than I anticipated." On the screen, Maya moved through the ruins with an almost casual ease. She was not rushing, not hesitating, just moving. Like she had walked these streets 1,000 times before. Vex's tactical display showed the enemy AI positions, 12 hostile contacts, standard weapons, occupying a 3-story structure with excellent sight lines. The simulation was designed to be brutally difficult. Most squads got wiped out within 2 minutes. Maya reached the perimeter and stopped. For maybe 5 seconds, she just stood there, apparently doing nothing. Then she pulled something from her belt. Vex zoomed in. A standard breaching charge. She was going to blow the wall? That would alert every hostile in the building. Suicide. Except she did not place it on the wall. She placed it on a support column. "Oh no," Vex breathed. The explosion was spectacular. The entire western wall of the structure collapsed inward, 3 tons of rubble creating an avalanche of destruction that buried 6 of the 12 hostile AI units instantly. The remaining 6 converged on the breach point, exactly as any defender would, which meant they were not watching the east side. Hendrix's squad hit the secondary entrance exactly 90 seconds after Maya had left them. They moved fast, professional, the kind of textbook breach that Vex had been trying to drill into them for months. The hostile AI never had a chance. Caught between responding to the structural collapse and the actual breach, their tactical algorithms locked up for precious seconds. Hendrix's squad cleared 3 rooms before the AI even started firing back. By then, it was too late. "Simulation complete," the AI announced. "Time, 4 minutes 12 seconds. Casualties, 0. Civilian infrastructure damage, extensive. Performance rating, B-." Vex stared at the screen. B-? The AI docked points for the structural collapse, Pip explained, checking the readout. Technically, that building was supposed to be preserved if possible. "She collapsed a building," Vex said slowly, "as a distraction. Very effective distraction, sir." On screen, Maya emerged from the rubble, not a scratch on her. She ejected her rifle's spent charge pack, loaded a fresh one, and walked over to join Hendrix's squad like she had just finished a light jog. Vex pulled up Maya's file again. Read it more carefully this time. Outer Rim security. Quiet posts. Unremarkable service. Lies. All of it lies. "Pip, get me the intelligence division. Tell them I need deep background on Lieutenant Maya Kor. Real background, not this sanitized nonsense." "Yes, sir. Should I have the lieutenant report for debriefing?" Vex watched Maya on the screen, calmly discussing tactics with a very confused-looking Hendrix. "No," he said quietly. "I think I need to make some calls first." Maya spent the rest of the day running through standard qualification tests. Marksmanship, tactical planning, emergency medical procedures. She passed everything with scores that were good, but not exceptional. Exactly what you would expect from a competent officer with routine experience. By 1800 hours, she was officially cleared for duty assignment. Sergeant Kroll handed her a data chip with her quarters assignment and Delta Company's deployment schedule. "You did okay today," Kroll rumbled, which from a Gorvaxian was apparently high praise. "Better than the last 3 humans we got. They all cried during the psychological evaluation. Good to know I cleared that bar. Hendrix says you knew about the secondary entrance. How?" Maya shrugged. "Lucky guess." "Uh-huh." Kroll did not believe her for a second. "Commander wants to see you tomorrow." "Oh, 900. Do not be late." "Wouldn't dream of it." She found her quarters easily enough. Standard officer accommodations, small, functional, private. She unpacked her meager belongings, set up her terminal, ran a quick sweep for listening devices. Found 2. Left them in place. If Command wanted to spy on her, let them. They would be disappointed. At 2200 hours, her terminal chimed. Incoming secure message. No sender identification. Maya opened it. 7 words. "We know who you are. Stay quiet." She deleted the message, poured herself a glass of water, sat on her bunk, and stared at the wall. They knew. Of course they knew. You did not end 3 galactic invasions without making a file somewhere, without someone putting the pieces together, without your face ending up in classified databases that officially did not exist. The question was what they would do about it. Maya finished her water, laid down, closed her eyes. Tomorrow would be interesting. Tomorrow was always interesting. Across the station, in a secure conference room that required 6 different biometric scans to enter, Vornak sat across from Commander Vex and a holographic projection of Admiral Thrace, the station's commanding officer. "You are certain?" Thrace asked. Vornak pulled up a classified file. "Maya Kor is an alias. Her real name is Maya Korsakov. She spent 8 years in human special operations before transferring to, well, nobody is quite sure. Her file gets heavily redacted after that point. But I have sources." "What do your sources say?" Vex demanded. "They say she was present at Kepler Station during the Zarnok incursion, that she was on Helios 7 when the Vrexian fleet tried to establish a foothold, and that she was, allegedly, involved in the collapse of the Talaxian invasion corridors." Silence. The Zarnok incursion had been stopped by an unknown saboteur who destroyed the invasion fleet's command ship from the inside. Helios 7's defense was attributed to lucky asteroid strikes that devastated the Vrexian forces. The Talaxian corridors had collapsed due to what official reports called catastrophic navigational failures. All 3 events had ended invasions that should have succeeded. All 3 had body counts in the thousands. All 3 had never been fully explained. "You are suggesting," Thrace said carefully, "that one human was responsible for all 3? "I am suggesting that she was present for all 3, and that shortly after each event, she disappeared from official records." Vornak pulled up another file. "This is security footage from Kepler Station, 2 hours before the Zarnok command ship exploded. Notice anyone familiar?" The image was grainy, taken from a maintenance corridor camera, but the woman in the frame, wearing a stolen maintenance uniform and carrying what looked like industrial cutting equipment, was unmistakably Maya. "That could be anyone," Vex argued, though he did not sound convinced. "Could be," Vornak agreed, "except I ran a facial recognition scan. 93.7% match. And look at her hands." Vex zoomed in. The burn scars were visible even through the poor image quality. "Plasma weapons," he breathed. "Krillian plasma weapons, specifically. We are the only species that builds them hot enough to leave scars like that." "The Zarnok used Krillian-designed weapons," Vornak confirmed, "which means she got close enough to fight them hand-to-hand. And survived." Admiral Thrace was quiet for a long moment. "Why is she here? If she is who you think she is, why transfer to a routine combat post?" "I have theories," Vornak said. "None of them good." "Share them." "Theory 1, she is hiding. From someone or something that scares even her. Theory 2, she is hunting. There is a target at Terminus Station or nearby that requires her specific skill set. Theory 3, and this is the one that keeps me awake at night, she was sent here. By someone in human command who knows exactly who she is and exactly what she can do." "For what purpose?" Vex asked. Vornak met his gaze. "That is what I want to find out before she kills us all." The briefing room at 0900 was empty, except for Commander Vex, and a pot of what passed for coffee in this corner of the galaxy. Maya arrived exactly on time, not a second early or late. "Sit," Vex said, without preamble. Maya sat, waited, let the silence stretch. Vex pushed a datapad across the table. "I have been reviewing your performance yesterday. Impressive, especially for someone whose file suggests they spent the last 5 years checking cargo manifests on forgotten outposts." "Thank you, sir." "That was not a compliment." Vex leaned forward. "That was an observation. You move like someone who has seen real combat. You think like someone who has survived situations that kill experienced soldiers. Your tactical instincts are too refined for routine security work." Maya kept her expression neutral. I trained hard, sir. Training does not give you the kind of reflexes I saw yesterday. Training does not teach you to collapse buildings as distractions. Training does not explain how you knew about facility modifications that were implemented last week. Vex's eyes narrowed. So let me ask you directly, Lieutenant Core. Who are you, really? I'm exactly who my file says I am, sir. A transfer looking for more active duty. Your file is a masterpiece of creative fiction. Then perhaps you should file a complaint with personnel, sir. They stared at each other. Vex broke first, sitting back with a sound that might have been laughter or frustration. You know what I think? I think you are dangerous. I think you have secrets that could get my soldiers killed. And I think someone very high up in command decided to drop you into my unit without bothering to tell me why. He paused. But I also think you might be the best tactical mind I have seen in 5 years, which puts me in an awkward position. What position is that, sir? The position of deciding whether to keep you, or space you out an airlock. Vex tapped his claws on the table. So here is what we are going to do. You will integrate with Delta Company. You will follow orders. And you will not, under any circumstances, do anything that makes me regret not spacing you. Clear? Crystal, sir. Good. Dismissed. Maya stood, saluted, turned to leave. One more thing, Vex called. We deploy in 72 hours. Patrol sweep of the Hendrax sector. Pirates have been hitting supply convoys. Should be routine. Try not to start any wars. I'll do my best, sir. The Hendrax sector was anything but routine. Delta Company's transport, a retrofitted cruiser called the Valiant, dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the sector's primary shipping lane. Immediately, every proximity alarm started screaming. Multiple contacts, called out the sensor operator, a Quellan named Jex. 12 vessels, frigate class. They are surrounding a convoy transport. Commander Vex was on the bridge in seconds. Pirates? Negative, sir. Jex's voice climbed an octave. Those are Kethrin assault ships, military grade. What are they doing this deep in Coalition space? The Kethrins, a species that had spent the last decade expanding aggressively into contested territories. Technically not at war with the Coalition, technically not at peace either. They existed in a gray zone of diplomatic tension and periodic skirmishes that never quite escalated into full conflict. Until now, apparently. Hail them, Vex ordered. The response came immediately. A Kethrin commander appeared on screen, his segmented carapace gleaming under harsh lighting. Coalition vessel, you are interfering in a legitimate salvage operation. Withdraw immediately. Salvage operation. Vex's scales flushed dark red, a sign of extreme anger. That convoy is broadcasting Coalition registry codes. You are committing an act of piracy. The convoy entered Kethrin territorial space. It is therefore subject to our laws. The Kethrin commander's mandibles clicked with what might have been amusement. Of course, if the Coalition wishes to contest this claim, we are prepared to defend our position. Are you? Vex glanced at his tactical display. 12 Kethrin ships versus 1 Coalition cruiser. The math was ugly. Sir, whispered his executive officer, a human named Park. We should call for backup. Backup is 6 hours away minimum. That convoy will be stripped or destroyed by then. Vex studied the board, looking for options that did not exist. Permission to speak, sir. Everyone turned. Maya stood at the back of the bridge, technically not supposed to be there, but nobody had bothered to stop her. What? Vex snapped. The Kethrins are bluffing. Explain. Quickly. Maya stepped forward, pointing at the tactical display. Look at their formation. They have the convoy surrounded, but their positioning is defensive. They are protecting something, not preparing to fight. And notice their power signatures? 3 of those ships are running minimal weapons systems. They are cargo haulers, not assault frigates. Jex checked his sensors. She is right. Those 3 vessels have converted weapons bays. They are loaded with, I cannot tell exactly. Heavy equipment, maybe? Heavy equipment, Maya repeated, which means they are not here for the cargo. They are here for something else. Something on that convoy that they desperately want. Desperately enough to risk a diplomatic incident. Vex considered. What do you suggest? Call their bluff. Move to intercept. They will back down. And if they do not? Then we will know they are not bluffing, and we can reassess. But they will, sir. Trust me. Park looked horrified. You want to risk starting a war on a hunch? Not a hunch. Pattern recognition. Maya met Vex's gaze. The Kethrans are aggressive, but they are not stupid. They will not start a shooting war over salvage rights. Whatever they want from that convoy, it is not worth galactic sanctions. Vex made a decision that would either save lives or end his career. Helm, intercept course. Weapons, charge primary batteries, but do not lock targets. Communications, inform the Kethrans that we are moving to protect Coalition assets, and any hostile action will be met with lethal force. The bridge crew scrambled to comply. The Valiant accelerated toward the convoy, every weapons system hot, but not yet aimed. For 30 agonizing seconds, nothing happened. Then the Kethran ships began to move, not toward the Valiant, away from it. They are withdrawing, sir, Jex reported, disbelief clear in his voice. All 12 vessels breaking formation. They are jumping to faster than light in 5, 4, 3. The Kethran ships vanished in flashes of distorted space. The bridge erupted in relieved chatter. Park looked like he might throw up. Vex slowly unclenched his claws from his command chair. "Secure the convoy," he ordered. "I want to know what was so important that the Kethrans were willing to risk an incident." He turned to Maya. "My ready room. Now." Vex closed the door and activated the privacy shields. "How did you know?" "Experience, sir." "That is not an answer." Maya sighed. "The Kethrans have tried this exact maneuver before. Different sector, different convoy, same basic setup. They probe Coalition response times, test our willingness to engage. If we had backed down, they would have taken the convoy and claimed salvage rights. We did not back down, so they retreated. Standard escalation doctrine." "When did they try this before?" "Classified, sir." "I am your commanding officer. And some things are classified above both our pay grades." Maya met his gaze without flinching. "I know what I am doing, Commander. You can either trust that, or you can bench me. Your choice." "You realize you are making that choice very difficult." "Yes, sir." Before Vex could respond, his comm chirped. "Commander, you need to see this," Jack said. "We boarded the convoy. You are not going to believe what we found." The convoy transport was a mess. Hull breaches, life support failing, crew injured but alive. And in the primary cargo bay, carefully secured behind military-grade containment fields, were 6 cylindrical containers, each about 3 meters tall. "Are those what I think they are?" Vex asked quietly. "Quantum displacement cores," confirmed the convoy's captain, a grizzled human named Torres. "Latest generation. Coalition R&D was transferring them to the frontier shipyards for installation in the new Dreadnought-class vessels." Maya walked around one of the containers, studying it carefully. "These are worth billions. More importantly, they are strategic assets. With these, You could build ships that outmaneuver anything in known space. Which is why the Kethrans wanted them, Vex finished. This was not random piracy. This was a targeted operation. Worse than that, sir. Torres pulled up a data pad. We were supposed to be traveling under heavy escort. 2 frigates and a destroyer. But at the last minute, we received orders to proceed alone. Priority rush job, they said. Could not wait for the escort to be ready. Who authorized those orders? Admiral Thrace, sir. Terminus Station Command. The name hung in the air like a grenade. Maya's expression did not change, but Vex noticed her hand drift almost unconsciously toward her sidearm. That is concerning, Vex said carefully. Jex, I want a full communication audit. Every transmission to and from this convoy for the last week. Park, secure those cores and prepare to jump back to Terminus. Torres, get your crew medical attention. As everyone moved to comply, Maya leaned close to Vex. This was a setup, Commander. Someone fed the Kethrans the convoy route and timing. Someone in our command structure. I had reached the same conclusion. And we are about to deliver these cores right back to whoever set this up. Vex felt a headache forming behind his eye ridges. What would you do? Reroute. Take the cores to the nearest secure coalition facility that is not Terminus Station. File an incident report directly with Central Command. Force this into the open. That would be insubordination. Possibly treason. Only if we are wrong, sir. Maya's voice dropped. And we are not wrong. Vex looked at her. Really looked at her. Saw the certainty in her eyes. The kind that came from having lived through situations like this before. The kind that came from knowing, absolutely, that hesitation got people killed. You have done this before, he said. Not a question. Yes, sir. The invasions. You stopped them. Maya was silent for a long moment. I helped. How? By recognizing patterns. By trusting my instincts. By doing what needed to be done, even when it violated orders. She paused. By not letting bureaucracy and chain of command get in the way of survival. Vex made the second career-ending decision of the day. Helm, plot a course to the Arcturus shipyards. Maximum speed. Park's head whipped around. Sir, those are 3 sectors away. We are supposed to return to Terminus. I am aware of our orders. Executive Officer Park, I am choosing to disobey them. Anyone who wants to file a complaint can do so when we reach Arcturus. Until then, we have strategic assets to protect and a traitor to expose. Clear? The bridge crew exchanged glances. Then, one by one, they returned to their stations. Course plotted, sir, the helmsman reported. Ready to jump on your mark. Jump. They made it 14 hours before everything went sideways. The Valiant dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the Arcturus system and immediately detected 3 coalition destroyers on intercept course. They are hailing us, sir, Jex reported. Captain Rex of the Indomitable. He is ordering us to heave to for inspection. Inspection? Vex pulled up Rex's file. Good service record, solid, Commander. No red flags. On whose authority? Admiral Thrace, sir. He issued a fleet-wide alert. Says we are carrying stolen military property and are to be detained by any means necessary. Maya appeared on the bridge, moving fast. They are going to seize the cores and disappear us, Commander. We have maybe 5 minutes before they open fire. We cannot fight 3 destroyers. No, sir, but we can outrun them. Maya pulled up a navigation chart. There is a debris field 0.7 light-years from here. Old battle site from the Confederation Wars. Thousands of wrecked ships, sensor interference, navigation hazards. We go in there. We can lose them. Or we can get shredded by debris. Better than getting arrested by traitors and shot while trying to escape. Maya's voice was cold. Trust me, Commander. I have seen how this plays out. We do not want to let them take us alive. Vex looked at his crew, saw the fear, saw the determination, saw people who had followed him this far and deserved to know he was making the right call. He was not sure he was making the right call, but Maya was. Helm! Course for the debris field! Full speed! Sir, Park protested, we have to fight. Running makes us look guilty. We are guilty, Park. Guilty of disobeying orders. Guilty of accusing a flag officer of treason. Guilty of thinking for ourselves. Vex's voice hardened. Now, sit down or get off my bridge. Park sat down. The Valiant accelerated. Behind them, the 3 destroyers pursued, gaining steadily. They were faster, newer, better armed. The distance closed. Entering debris field in 30 seconds, the helmsman called. Sir, I have to warn you. Our shields are not rated for this kind of navigation. Noted. Proceed. They hit the field at near maximum velocity. Instantly, proximity alarms filled the bridge with noise. Chunks of ancient warships, some the size of shuttles, tumbled past the view screen in a deadly ballet. Contact port side, Jex shouted. A fragment of hull plating, maybe 10 meters across, slammed into their shields. The Valiant shuddered, but held course. Shields at 80%, Park reported. All business now. Multiple impacts. We are losing. Integrity fast. The destroyers are breaking off, sir, Jex said. They are not following us in. Because they are smart, Maya muttered. She was studying the navigation display with an intensity that made Vex nervous. Helm, come port 15 degrees. There is a clear channel ahead. How can you possibly know that? The helmsman demanded. Because I memorized the debris field layout 3 hours ago when I realized we might need an escape route. Turn. Now. The helmsman looked at Vex. Vex nodded. They turned. A piece of wreckage the size of a frigate drifted past where they would have been. It would have crushed them like an insect. How did you... The helmsman started. Next turn in 40 seconds, Maya interrupted. Starboard 20 degrees. Then dive negative z-axis 30 degrees. Then we coast for 90 seconds and we will be through the densest part. You memorized the entire field? I have a good memory. Turn. Now. They turned. Dove. Coasted. Every maneuver brought them within meters of destruction. Every maneuver was exactly right. When they finally emerged on the far side of the debris field, the destroyers were nowhere on sensors. The bridge crew sat in stunned silence. Well, Vex said eventually, that was exciting. Maya smiled. It was the first genuine smile he had seen from her. You should see me when things get really interesting, sir. Arcturus shipyards welcomed them with confusion and suspicion in equal measure. The facility commander, a no-nonsense Gorvaxian named Admiral Stone, listened to their story with increasing incredulity. You are telling me that Admiral Thrace, a decorated officer with 30 years of service, is selling military secrets to the Kethrans? Stone's voice could have cut steel. That is a serious accusation, Commander Vex. I am aware, sir, which is why we brought evidence. They had spent the trip analyzing every byte of data from the convoy. Communications logs, navigational records, personnel files, and buried in the mess, they had found it. A single encrypted transmission sent from Terminus Station to an unknown recipient, containing the convoy's exact route and schedule. The transmission had been sent from Admiral Thrace's personal terminal. Stone studied the data for a long time. This could be faked. It could be, sir, Vex agreed. But is it? No. Stone sat back heavily. No, I do not think it is. I have been hearing rumors for months. Equipment disappearing, patrol routes being leaked. Small things, individually meaningless. Together they paint a picture of systematic compromise. He looked at Maya. You knew about this before you arrived at Terminus, didn't you, Lieutenant? Maya nodded. I was sent to investigate. Human intelligence had suspicions, but no proof. I was supposed to gather evidence quietly and report back. By collapsing buildings and starting diplomatic incidents? That was improvisation, sir. I see. Stone pulled up a secure terminal. I am going to contact Central Command directly. They will want to speak with all of you. In the meantime, those quantum cores stay locked down under my personal supervision. Agreed, Commander Vex? Agreed, sir. Good. Now get off my station before you cause any more chaos. The investigation took 3 weeks. Central Command sent a team of specialists who took apart Terminus Station, byte by byte. They found evidence of Kethran infiltration going back 2 years. They found accounts in Admiral Thrace's name containing enough money to buy a small moon. They found communications with other compromised officers, a network of traitors spread across 3 sectors. Admiral Thrace disappeared before they could arrest him. So did 6 other senior officers. The Coalition issued warrants, but everyone knew they were long gone, probably safe in Kethran space. The damage was done. The network was exposed. The leak was sealed. Delta Company returned to Terminus Station under new command. Commander Vex was promoted to Station Executive Officer. Corporal Hendricks made Sergeant. The entire unit received commendations for their role in exposing the conspiracy. Maya received orders to report to Central Command for reassignment. On her last day, Vex found her in the training dome, running through combat drills alone. You could have told me who you were from the beginning, he said. Would you have believed me? Probably not. There is your answer. Maya lowered her rifle. For what it is worth, you did good, Commander. Not many officers would have trusted a subordinate over a flag officer. I trusted my instincts. They said you were telling the truth. Your instincts are better than most. They stood in comfortable silence for a moment. The Kepler Station incident, Vex said quietly. The Zarnok command ship, that was you. Maya said nothing. And Helios 7. Those were not lucky asteroid strikes. Still nothing. The Talaxian invasion corridors collapsed because someone sabotaged their navigation relays from the inside. Someone who knew exactly where to strike and exactly how much damage to cause. Vex met her gaze. 3 invasions. 3 impossible victories. 1 human who happened to be present for all 3. Maya smiled. You know, Commander, sometimes the best thing about having a sanitized file is that nobody can prove anything. Officially, I was just in the right place at the right time. Repeatedly. And unofficially? Unofficially, the galaxy is a dangerous place, full of threats that want to hurt people who cannot defend themselves. Someone has to stop those threats. Someone has to be willing to do the hard things, the quiet things, the things that never make it into official reports. Someone like you. Someone like me. Vex extended his hand. Maya shook it. Where are they sending you next? He asked. Classified. But I can tell you this. There are rumors. Another species making aggressive moves in the outer rim. Testing defenses. Probing for weaknesses. Maya's eyes hardened. Someone needs to look into it. Someone needs to make sure that if they decide to invade, they learn the same lesson the Zarnok and the Vrexians and the Talaxians learned. What lesson is that? Maya picked up her rifle, checked the charge pack one last time. That humans do not lose. We adapt. We improvise. We fight dirty when we have to, and we never, ever quit. And if you threaten the people we protect, if you mistake our kindness for weakness or our peace for cowardice, you will discover that hell hath no fury like a human who has decided that you need to be stopped. She headed for the exit, then paused. Take care of Delta Company, Commander. They are good people. They deserve a leader who will protect them. What about you? Who protects you? Maya laughed. I protect myself. I always have. She left. Vex never saw her again. 6 months later, news reached Terminus Station of a skirmish in the Outer Rim. An unknown force had destroyed a staging area being built by the Drexian Collective, a militant species preparing for territorial expansion. The attack had been surgical, devastating, and completely untraceable. No coalition forces were in the area. No official military action had been authorized, but the Drexian expansion stopped cold, their leadership apparently deciding that the risks outweighed the rewards. Commander Vex read the report and smiled. Somewhere out there, a human woman with amber eyes and burn-scarred hands was making the galaxy a safer place. One quiet mission at a time. One impossible victory after another. Nobody would ever know her name. Nobody would ever thank her. History would never record what she had done. But she would keep doing it anyway. Because that was what humans did. They protected. They fought. They won. Even when nobody was watching. Especially when nobody was watching. And the galaxy, whether it knew it or not, was safer for it.